Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Historical Humans Reacts. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about international artifact smuggling and trafficking rings that have been cracked down upon, and a lot of artifacts have been returned lately. It's been huge.
Yep. Yeah, we are going into the world of international crime. Uh, didn't think we'd go into it this way, but here we are.
Not quite the way
We
you were hoping for, I know.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah. We are reporting on an operation known as Pandora 8. Pandora is an annual Interpol basically sting that it goes across multiple countries, being the international police and all, for the purposes of recovering stolen art, artwork, and artifacts in mass once a year. It's the big raid. They've been doing this since 2016, and this year they've arrested 85 people and confiscated more than 6,400 artworks and artifacts across 25 countries.
And I think you might be misconstruing this just a little bit. It's over the course of the year that this has happened, not just in one, like, all right, it's International Smuggler Day. We're gonna bust all of them.
We're gonna get all
Every
the
single
smugglers.
smuggler is moving on June 25th. We need to crack down.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's just one of those. That's much my way of imagining is much more fun. But yes, it is an annual report of operations throughout the year. That's a good point to make.
guys,
But
if we all
it
line
is
up at
much
once and
more.
run.
It's much more fun to imagine it just as in on this day of the year alone, they will kick in the door and raid you. Rest of other 364 days, you're fine. And then on this one day, Interpol just breaks down your door.
But it's kind of cool. They've been running this operation, which includes several thousand checks at airports, ports, border crossings, auction houses, museums, and even private residences, which I don't think should be much surprised that a lot of stolen goods end up in private collections. But the law enforcement agents also conducted an additional 6,000 online checks, which led to the recovery of 580 stolen goods and a total of 113 criminal and 137 administrative cases ongoing, with more to be expected. Which I'm kind of curious what the difference between criminal and administrative cases are specifically, but
So I think, and this is just speculation here based on my loose understanding of international law. Is the criminal cases are for the actual crimes of like theft and resale. The administrative cases are more of we're fining this auction house for not doing due diligence and recognizing that they were holding a stolen Monet.
which, yeah,
Uh
you would think that a lot of auction houses and other museums would vet the items that they have and make sure that they don't have
yeah,
a
yeah.
checkered past.
Yeah, the administrative stuff is more of we can't personally charge anyone at this organization for knowingly buying, selling, or possessing stolen goods, but we can find them and put them on, put them in an administrative case for at some point as an institution, you had to do due diligence and you neglected to do so.
But it's kind of interesting because this was a multinational effort that spanned across a good majority of Europe,
Yeah.
which included countries such as Albania, Austria, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Bulgaria, Czechia, Croatia, Cyprus, France, Germany, Greece, Ireland, Italy, Latvia, Malta, Montenegro, Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Spain, Serbia, Sweden, Ukraine, and the United Kingdom. Wait a second.
It's just like, well, I think we know why the United Kingdom got involved this year. It's been
Hmm.
quite an interesting 12 months for them.
I can't imagine what major heist would lead them to want to recover stolen artifacts.
Yeah, yeah, it's not like it's something we've repeatedly covered on this channel. And for those of you who don't know, we're probably just going to say it out loud now.
The fact that the British Museum had thousands of artifacts stolen from their collections and subsequently sold on eBay.
Yep. Hence the 6,000 online checks Interpol is conducting in this year's series of raids.
But I think it also kind of highlights and should point out That the fact that this is so pervasive, like the internet is a massive place, and despite those 6,000 online checks, I can imagine that that they call it a fraction of the amount of actual traffic there is. I imagine that there's probably a lot more that happens that isn't tracked.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind, they looked 6,000 times and they found 580 objects.
I mean, that's
They,
pretty good odds. Let's be real.
yeah. Yeah. That's like, I'm gonna say this, they probably were checking blind for the most part and still had that many hits.
Gee,
I,
that's probably a fair way to assess it. I don't think.
yeah. Yeah. A good analogy is this is like playing Minesweeper with a blindfold, and you're still getting hits.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. And there's a couple of interesting cases that really happen, and one of the big ones is actually because of a collaboration between Spain and Ukraine, which, given modern events in Ukraine, the fact that they're participating in something like this and actually caring is huge. Plus,
Yep.
because of modern events that are happening in that region, smuggling tends to take a very prolific,
Yeah.
what would you say,
A,
like style. It just becomes very prolific where looting happens because
yeah.
a lot of institutions that would protect the stuff fall apart in times of conflict.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this specific case is where authorities recovered 11 golden items that are worth over 65 million, which I don't know why this article double states million. If it's 65 million dollars.
Then yeah. Then yeah. Then at a certain point, yeah, it could just be that they don't know what the numbers are past 100 trillion. But I do believe that is a misprint on the art news here, which we'll deal with later, but we're not going to deal with it.
Yeah, but the Spanish Guardia Civil of Cordoba seized a private collection of 350 objects, which included lithic, ceramic, and metal pieces from various archaeological goods. And one of the big ones was the Scythians, which, who were the Scythians?
So the Scythians were a group of semi-nomadic horse riders in, that lived in the region around Crimea and southern Ukraine during the time of the ancient Greeks and the ancient Romans. They are effectively pre-Cossack Cossacks.
Mm. So, yeah, kind of some pretty pronounced stuff that was found. And some of the more interesting ones that have come out is Romanian police recovered a 19th century wooden iconostas stolen from a church and sold online, which that's basically the cross. The
Yeah.
Bulgarian Customs Agency seized 432 ancient coins en route from Turkey to France. The Greek National Police, the Hellenic Police, which badass name, seized 43 ancient amphorae, and they arrested two individuals. The Polish National Police recovered 229 objects, some of ivory, with the value of 152,000. The Italian Carabinieri seized over 2,000 fragments of ceramic and lithics. Like, just a wide array of artifacts being stolen. There's no specific rhyme or reason besides just value.
Yeah. Yeah, the French managed to seize a hold of a $182,000 painting by Mai Thur, a Vietnamese artist. So that made its way around the world before it got caught.
It's just crazy.
Um,
So,
and, yeah, and one quick thing: an iconostasis is not necessarily the cross
oh, sorry.
itself, but is rather the panels depicting saints, martyrs, the Virgin Mary, etc. Usually with gold inlays.
Ah. Hmm.
So it's so basically someone decided that they were going to rip Saint Peter out of a wall and run away with him.
I guess St. Peter's not going to call his name.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just,
uh,
it's sad how prolific looting is and how antiquities trades really rely very heavily on looting. And This is a great effort, but it very much is just a drop in the bucket as to where we should be and where we need to go from here.
Yeah, yeah, it is good that there is this concerted effort to catch these things and that these things are being caught. But the fact that there is so much to be caught is alarming. You know,
But
yeah,
I think that's actually a great point just for us to wrap up here because we could talk about this for a long time.
yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, let us know, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.